In a world driven by material success and social status, the allure of wealth is omnipresent. Wealth is often portrayed as the ultimate goal, a symbol of achievement that everyone seems to strive for. But beneath the shiny veneer lies a complex reality. Most people don't truly desire wealth in the way they think they do. They profess a longing for riches, envisioning a life filled with luxury cars, opulent mansions, and endless vacations. Yet when it comes to taking the concrete steps necessary to build and sustain wealth, there is a stark disconnect between intention and action. The illusion of wealth desire stems from societal conditioning, where financial prosperity is equated with happiness and success. The media perpetuates this narrative, showcasing stories of overnight millionaires and celebrities with extravagant lifestyles. This portrayal is enticing, planting the idea that a wealthy life equates to a worry-free existence, where freedom and fulfillment effortlessly follow abundance. However, this is a simplified notion that rarely holds true in reality. True wealth requires more than just the aspiration for financial comfort. It demands discipline, sacrifice, and a long-term vision, qualities that are often overshadowed by the immediate gratifications of modern life. People may say they want to be wealthy, yet their actions tell a different story. The hours spent on entertainment and leisurely pursuits, the hesitation to invest time in financial education or career advancement, and the resistance to step out of comfort zones starkly contrast with the commitment needed to build substantial wealth. Moreover, the pathway to wealth is fraught with hidden trade-offs that many are unwilling to make. It often calls for delayed gratification, risk-taking, and an unwavering focus on growth, all of which can clash with the desire for instant pleasure and a stable, predictable life. Elaborate financial strategies that require meticulous planning replace impromptu splurges. These are fundamental challenges for many who prioritize present enjoyment over future gains. There are, of course, alternative viewpoints. Some argue that true richness lies in experiences and relationships rather than monetary assets. However, this philosophy often masks an aversion to the demands that wealth accumulation entails, reinforcing the idea that the desire for wealth is often more about the fantasy than the reality. This contradiction connects deeply to personal values and societal expectations, leading to a broader discussion about what truly constitutes a prosperous life. Ultimately, the illusion of wealth desire is a complex interplay of human psychology, cultural influences, and personal priorities, challenging us to reflect on what we genuinely value and the sacrifices we are willing to make to achieve it. Wealth is a term that effortlessly conjures images of luxury and ease mansions nestled along pristine coastlines, gleaming sports cars, exquisite vacations, and sumptuous dining experiences. Many people equate wealth with an overflow of money and possessions that afford a lifestyle free from worry or hardship. It's a vision perpetuated by pop culture and media, where being wealthy is often synonymous with leading a life of indulgence and opulence. This common perception emphasizes the material aspects of wealth, focusing primarily on the idea of financial abundance as an end goal. However, this notion is not only incomplete, but often misguiding. While financial resources are undoubtedly a part of the equation, true wealth encompasses far more. Wealth, in a broader sense, is about accumulating not just material resources, but also any form of value that sustains and enriches life. It includes intangible assets like time, health, relationships, and personal fulfillment. For instance, someone may have substantial financial capital, yet feel impoverished in terms of personal time or meaningful relationships. Conversely, an individual with modest financial means might feel truly wealthy because of deep connections and a fulfilling lifestyle. This more expansive understanding of wealth underscores its intrinsic value beyond monetary measures. Consider the case of someone like Warren Buffett. With immense financial assets, he still leads a relatively frugal lifestyle compared to typical stereotypes of billionaires. His sense of wealth is deeply tied to satisfaction in his work and personal life balance. Similarly, there are minimalist individuals who opt for tiny homes, emphasizing freedom and experiences over accumulation of things. These examples highlight how the wealthiest individuals might not live as extravagantly as one might expect, and others with less financial power might achieve a rich life in other dimensions. The challenge here is that many well-ingrained societal perceptions are hard to shake. People often aim for financial success, thinking it's a comprehensive measure of wealth without considering the broader investment of time, energy, and emotional bandwidth required to attain and maintain it. Additionally, this misconception can lead to the pursuit of wealth as wholly financial, pushing other vital aspects like health or happiness to the wayside, causing eventual dissatisfaction. As we explore what wealth truly requires, it becomes apparent that the road to financial riches isn't just about what you gain, but what you might sacrifice along the way. Understanding wealth as a multifaceted concept can connect us more deeply to meaningful goals, aligning aspirations with a more balanced and genuinely rewarding pursuit of a wealthy life. Accumulating wealth is often idealized as a glamorous and straightforward pursuit, brimming with luxurious indulgences and absolute freedom. However, the reality of becoming wealthy is far more complex and demanding than commonly perceived. The path to wealth requires extensive planning, relentless effort, and a disciplined approach that extends beyond mere financial strategies. Unlike a scripted fairy tale, wealth accumulation involves continuous hard work and the persistence to navigate through a myriad of challenges and setbacks. One reality of accumulating wealth is that it demands a profound dedication over a long period. Building wealth is not an overnight endeavor. It entails years of diligence, learning, and often significant personal sacrifices. Take, for instance, the story of John and Emily, a couple who started with humble beginnings. They meticulously tracked their expenses, saved diligently, and invested wisely over the decades, living frugally to compound their gains. This long-term commitment eventually led them to financial freedom, illustrating that wealth is not simply about earning large sums, but making strategic choices and sometimes foregoing immediate gratifications for a more prosperous future. In another example, consider the entrepreneurial journey of Sarah, who founded a tech startup. The notion of upscaling a business to achieve wealth was thrilling, yet the daily grind was arduous. Long hours, countless failures, and moments of self-doubt were her companions, far removed from the glamorous executive lifestyle. Her experience underscores a significant truth about wealth building. It requires resilience and the ability to persevere through times of adversity. On the other side, the concentrated pursuit of wealth often leads to trade-offs in personal life, such as compromised time with family and friends, or even the loss of certain social connections. Some might view wealth as elusive because such sacrifices are seen as too great for the potential rewards. Additionally, as people strive for financial success, there's a constant threat of burnout, or the feeling that life is passing by while pursuits are narrowly focused on monetary gain. To achieve wealth, individuals must embrace a mindset that aligns with enduring discomfort and embracing failure as part of the process. This reality is often at odds with the more appealing fantasy of wealth that many hold, the allure without the genuine understanding of necessary effort. Wealth accrual demands fortitude and strategic risk-taking, reinforcing that the genuine path to wealth is as much about developing one's character and resilience as it is about accumulating money. These realities tie back into why many may intellectually desire wealth, but emotionally reject what genuinely attaining it necessitates. When most people dream about wealth, they envision luxury and ease, lavish vacations, expensive cars, and the absence of financial worries. However, what often remains hidden from view are the sacrifices required to attain this level of affluence. True wealth building is not just about earning and accumulating money. It requires a profound commitment to lifestyle adjustments, continuous self-discipline, and a willingness to make substantial sacrifices. At its core, wealth building demands a significant investment of time and effort. It often means prioritizing long-term financial goals over short-term pleasures. For instance, instead of splurging on the latest gadgets or dining out frequently, An aspiring wealth builder might choose to save or invest. Consider the example of billionaires like Warren Buffett, who are known for their frugal lifestyles despite their immense wealth. Buffett famously lives in the same modest house he bought before achieving fame, exemplifying the trade-offs often necessary to grow wealth. Another critical sacrifice involves personal relationships. The path to wealth can demand working long hours and traveling frequently, which might mean less time for family and social commitments. For example, tech entrepreneurs often recount tales of missing family gatherings or vacations to meet business deadlines or travel for networking opportunities. This trade-off raises important questions about the balance between financial success and personal fulfillment, sparking debates over what constitutes a truly rewarding life. Moreover, pursuing wealth often necessitates a tolerance for risk and, at times, discomfort. Financial markets fluctuate, businesses can fail, and investments might not always yield the expected returns. This risk requires a unique mindset, one that not everyone possesses or is willing to cultivate. The willingness to endure uncertainty and potentially start from scratch distinguishes those who succeed in accumulating wealth from those who merely aspire to it. Critics might argue that the sacrifices required for wealth building lead individuals down a path of materialism, overshadowing the inherent value of experiences and relationships. There is a growing discourse that challenges the traditional markers of wealth, advocating instead for a more balanced approach that places equal importance on emotional and social well-being. Ultimately, the sacrifices of wealth building intersect with other aspects of life priorities, personality, and values. For many, the recognition of these sacrifices provides clarity on why wealth is not universally pursued with the intensity one might expect. Wealth building, after all, is less about the money itself and more about the journey, its demands, and the willingness to accept its hidden costs.